Alright guys, today we're going to take an opportunity to check out a really cool 4K ultra high definition dash cam. Is it really going to be all that it's hyped up to be? Well, it says it's 4K ultra high definition recording, crystal clear front and rear footage for reliable evidence, 360 rotating rear camera. What's that all about? And a parking monitor. Let's have a look. What is going on inside this box? You guys know we always unbox in here in the kitchen on this ugly counter, because why not? It's just my spot. Yeah, that's okay. There we go. So it's a bit of a puzzle box to get in here, but once you get in, we're in. Got a QR code here for a quick using guide. I'll put this up to the camera so you guys could pause the video and go check it out. And that'll give you lots of information right there. Boy, we got a box full of stuff, guys. We got a box full of stuff. Looks like we got, wow, that's a separate camera right there. That's really cool looking. We'll dig into that deeper here in a second. This is a power source, power cable, and it is a Type-C USB power, so I'm sure we could use a variety of different cables for that purpose. We got a suction cup deal for a windshield here, and it is all plastic. That doesn't necessarily make it bad. We got a USB 2.0, what is this? I don't know what that is. It's, I guess, oh, it's a flash. I guess it's a flash drive. Got some little stickery things. Got probably a wire pokey tool. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of good kit in here, actually. Got a user's manual. And over here, I think this is the big chunk. This will be, well, where the hell, how do we get in there? Boy, I tell you, boxes and me, we're just not, all right, yeah, so this is the primary camera. We'll go ahead and pull it out of here. We'll start digging into everything. Well, I gotta say, that looks nice. And there's a screen on the back of it. That's cool. So it looks like we got an AV and a DC. That's the charger port. It looks like that's a Type-C, I think. There's like a mounting base right there, a little clip to mount with. This side has 5 buttons on it, and those buttons, okay, that's the bottom, so it sits like this. Yeah, so this is the top. The buttons are mode, up, OK, down, and menu. So these 5 buttons allow us to control a whole lot of stuff. And then up here is a power button. You guys can see that. And there's a mic button here. There's our little card slot right there. Here's our menu buttons. Nothing on this side. You can see the buttons there. And on the top, you got your mounting bracket, your power input, and an AV. I guess that goes to the rear camera probably, and then a power button right there. So that's the setup on the front camera. It looks cool. I mean, you know, it's got the little peeler right there. It's got a peeler right here. So that's the front camera. Then let's dig into this back camera. It says something about a 360 degree camera. I think I know what that's going to be about. Well, but we'll see. I don't know. I could be wrong. I usually am, because I'm a stupid old man. Okay, I dropped something. There is some double-sided pads in here, some extra ones. So here's your rear view camera mount. Wow, that's pretty cool. It's got a big old double-sided tape right there. And then it looks like, yeah, the whole thing can rotate inside that. I think that's the 360 they were talking about. And you got a very long cable with this style of plug on the end of it. Very nice. And of course you got your peeler right here protecting that lens. See about hooking this thing up and we'll check it out. So I was looking at this thing, and it is looks like a little dongle, but it also has a slot, guys can see that, for a micro SD card. So this is going to allow you to move video footage from the camera to something else. That's pretty cool. Give you a physical way to do that, because the camera itself has a micro SD slot and it has a card in it. So you do get a micro SD card in the camera. So you can just dig in there with your nail and push that and pop it out and put it in that the little pen drive, and then put that straight into your computer and pull files off of it. Very nice. I appreciate that. I also appreciate this ridiculously long cable. Now this is the power cable, but looking at the power cable, of course, we have a 12 volt, so its output is 5 volts at 2 amps, which means you could use any Type-C cord to power this. So if you've got one that you can use to hide better, you know, and work better for your installation, you could use it. There's lots of options here, but they give you a really, really long cord to make sure you have use of any option you want. I appreciate that too. Now on this little camera, this rear camera, the mechanism to allow it to 360 is this thing here. Essentially just rotates around. There's no set screw or anything to hold it in place, but it does feel stiff to turn. It's got some kind of a little bit of a grippiness to it, so it doesn't want to just turn easily. So when you put this thing where you want it and set it, it should stay put. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. So for testing purposes, I've got this little USB battery that I've had forever, and it's just reliable as hell. So let's see what happens here. We're going to plug the power in to this camera. We're going to plug in the rear view camera to that, and then we should have video from both sources. And we're going to power the battery on, and power on. There we go. So it fires right up as soon as I powered the battery on, which is meaning it's receiving power from the cable, just turns it right on. I guess the button is mainly to turn it off. So let's get the peel and stick off of here where we can see the screen better. Now it's saying that Wi-Fi cannot be found. Please set the band on the camera. So it's looking for Wi-Fi. This camera is going okay. So you can see up here in the corner, we're getting this camera, and it looks pretty good. I can see that's very clear. And then this main screen is showing the camera that this one's on. So both cameras are visible right from the start without making any adjustments. That's cool. Now we got all sorts of menu things. I'm going to reposition this and we'll try to go through it. Alright, so let's see here. Here's our camera. Here's our setup. So let's try menu. That didn't do anything. Let's try mode. Okay. Mode up and down. Okay. So we're changing what's showing. That's the rear view. Yeah, that's the rear view camera mode. Okay. And then this is just front view. This is front and rear, front being the main one. This is, I don't know. That's just front. Is there one that does the rear? Yeah, the rear is the main one here. But does it also show the front at the same time? There's not one that shows the rear as the main one and the front as the small one. But, okay. So that allows us to go through the modes. I'll put it back on
That's the rear view one. That is the front, and that's the front with the rear on the side. All right, so we'll select that as okay, and see if we can get in this menu. Okay, there we go. So here's our menu. You can select resolution. I'm guessing we're going to have to do buttons. The screen, is the screen interactive? No, the screen does not interact with my finger at all. So then we go do the menu this way, loop recording. Say we go okay, and it shows the different loops you can create. All right, that's good. Yeah, we're not filming at the moment. Yeah, I know that. So we can set that to 1 minute. We go down. What is this Wi-Fi? We're not messing with that yet. Rear camera with mirror function. Okay, so we can change that to mirror. On and off. We can set that to on, which is what it's on. Parking monitor allows us to do security. Right now it's turned off. Yeah, I know it's not filming at the moment. G-sensor is the shock sensor, so it detects collisions, and we'll go back and save the last however many minutes you had that loop set for. So that's cool. And usually I set that on low because I'm a bass head, and yeah, that doesn't usually work for me, but we'll leave it on middle for now. Then we got recording audio. We can turn that on or off. We'll leave it on. It's complaining about the camera not recording. So that's all of it except the Wi-Fi. Let's go down to the Wi-Fi. Look into that. So, okay, so it's wanting 5G. So it'll connect to the phone. Wi-Fi source, we're going to turn that off. All right, and let's check it out. There's also this menu, which has beep sound, switch sound, format, and default settings. So there's quite a bit going on here. And hey, so let's do a little bit of recording and see what it looks like. All right, so it took, I don't know if it recorded or not. I'm playing stupid because the average consumer doesn't know what they're doing. And so that's me also. So I got it unplugged from the power source now, and it's turned off. I'm going to take this card out of here and pretend like I've had this thing stuck to my windshield, and something happened. And I need to find out if I need to, provide evidence that I was doing the right thing. Okay, so this little guy right here should hold that evidence. Let's find out. All right, so I plugged it into my computer, and this is what opens up on that file. So we go into record and see what's in here. We got a record 1 and a record 0. We'll try the 1. And in that case, we got 3 different files. And the record 0, oh, there's a bunch in here. There we go. And you guys know what the lighting looks like in here, but shifting it around a little bit. So, all right, so what I can tell by looking at this is the way the folder's laid out is that 1 and 2 is the two different cameras. So you got one is the back camera and one is the front camera. So it creates 2 different files for 2 different cameras, and they're both stored as 1 or 0 and 1 or 1 and 2, whichever it was. So you're getting both of them being stored. Very cool. I'm impressed with it, and the quality is good. I'm going to try to edit this all together. So let me get you guys a view of that. But if you like this kind of view, you like this kind of review where we just go at it. It's not all prim and proper. We're just looking at it the way you guys would be looking at it when you unbox the thing. Hit the subscribe button down below. This is the kind of stuff I do. It's not scripted. It's not pretty. It's not awesome. It's just life. This is how we do it. This is you unboxing the thing and just going at it with a blindfold on.
You know what I'm saying? Which is what you'll be doing. How well is it going to work? All right, guys, so I went outside with the camera and I did some walk-arounds and some good recordings on different stuff outside to get the lighting and all the different effects. I came back in here and plugged the thing up into my computer the same way I did the other files. And here's the problem. None of the players that I try to use can open it. They all give me this failed to render the file. So, like if I try to click on this one opens. Okay, this is a file. You can't see much because it was dark, but the point is it opens. And then this file right here was one of the ones that should be the new stuff, and it just fails to render. And it doesn't matter what I try to use to open it with. I could use Media Player, I could use VLC. It gives me this every time. So that might be an issue. Now, these other files, for whatever reason, are opening up, and they're playing fine. But that one, this group down here, from 1040 to 1046, and it gives a different, it's 1 every minute is what it's doing. And none of these files will open. They're all doing this fail to render. Alright, so we're going to take a little view and see what we get with the 4K version of this. I did manage to get these files off the camera. And the first thing we're doing is going from a dark room to a light room. You can see that it adjusted quite quickly. I'm as impressed with the overall light characteristics of this video clip. And we're looking at a white building with a nice blue background, and it's separating those colors nicely. It's not washing anything out. So that's a plus. You should be able to make out the license plate on the car there by that trailer. And we'll see how that goes. Then we're shifting to a dark space underneath the carport here. And it lights everything up quite nicely. It does wash out a little bit there for a minute on the back wall as the sensor tries to adjust. So now we're looking at a very bright background with the backside of my Tahoe parked here. You should be able to read the license plate and the stickers on the back window. That bright background is really the worst case scenario for this camera to have to deal with. Extremely bright light and then showing something that's in the dark. So it did a pretty good job of that. I was impressed. Now we'll move back out into the bright. The sky should be nice and blue. The building should be white. And we're going to pan up to the sun, and you notice the tree doesn't go away. The sun stays nice and framed, and the colors are all good. It handled the extremely bright light of the sun quite well. Now I do notice that there is some white showing between the trees. That should be all blue. Now we're on the 1080 recording, and I actually like the way the 1080 recorded a little bit better. The blue looks good, everything looks good, and I don't know about that license plate, but we'll see. Being able to read license plates is kind of important. This is the 1080 version, so here's our nice blue. You notice the trees have some white between them. That should be blue, so it's kind of messing up there just a little bit, but overall I would say it looks pretty dang good. The greens are all green. That building is white. We're going to walk up here and do a real close image and see how quick the autofocus fixes things. We're going to walk right up to this wall, and then we're going to quickly move in the other direction and see how long it takes. And it actually did a pretty good job. You should be able to read the stickers and the license plate on my Tahoe again with that bright light. Notice it handles the bright light in the background with a little bit more detail. Though I do notice it changing slowly during the shot. It started out a little bit better, and then it kind of shifted. But we should be able to read all these numbers and letters with that bright light out there, giving the camera a hard way to go. Overall, I think the color and everything looks pretty accurate. Knowing what all this looks like, and the color of the wood there, the extension cord, the grass, all looks good.